Welcome to Athletic Every Day, day number 10. Today was an upper body session, and I was in the gym today. I went this morning. Today consisted of some bench, T-bar rows. I meant to do overhead press, but I'll get into why that was not gonna happen today later, and I ended up finishing off with some pull-ups. So bench was I was focusing on hitting about 8 reps per set, 7, 8 reps, and not using much leg drive. Um, I don't think, I'm not trying to hit strictly just numbers. I'm trying to, get stronger, get more athletic in the upper body mainly. So I feel like using a bunch of leg drive is kind of a counterproductive to my goals. And I mean, you could argue that bench press isn't even super, as productive as it could be towards my goals. But bench, it is kind of specific to pushing people with a lacrosse stick. So I do rest my case that it's pretty specific. However, I do think at least once a week in the future, I might want to include like a bench and then maybe something where I'm getting the full range of motion at the shoulder, like a deficit push-up, maybe like a dip, something else like that, just so I kind of include more full range of motion, which just kind of helps out your joints and, makes you less vulnerable to injury. So today I worked up to, I think I only got 7 reps on my last set, but it was 120. I ended up doing, 4 working sets before I hopped onto the T-bars. I don't quite know how I feel about these because I feel I feel they're pretty good. Um, my only issue is I think it's just more of an ego issue where I go too high up in weight and I end up just kind of using too much momentum, but that may just be on me. Um, but it was good to get a heavy rowing type variation in at this stage in the week. So here I worked up to, I think it was, what would that be? 80 pounds. That does not sound like a lot when I actually say it. But I did work up to that. Um, this machine is kind of annoying because you kind of have to. It's weird getting it off the little hook because I think the place where you put your feet is kind of weird. It's weird the way it's set up, so you kind of have to like. I don't know. You kind of have to like. It's just a weird setup. I'm not super in love with this machine itself. But after this, I was meant to do overhead press. But there's these guys. There's 3 racks in my gym. There was 3 of them. They're all, buddies. I guess they were training together, and each one of them had a squat rack. Like, one of them would squat with 2 side spotters, and they would just do the same thing on all 3 racks, and they just left their weight on. I was like, dude, that is so annoying. Like, why would you do that? But yeah, it was like, I don't even want to, try and fight this with these guys. There's no real point, you know. I've already gotten a good shoulder and tricep stimulus. And so I'm just gonna hit some glute raises. I mean, this is not gonna hurt me in any way, shape, or form. This is 10 pounds here. Pretty simple. I think I did 3 sets of these, and then I finished off with pull-ups. I do want to talk about how form for a second, specifically on the squat. This kind of brings me back to these guys I was talking about earlier, who were taking up all 3 racks. I saw this guy, I think he was repping somewhere in the realm of 375. A lot of weight, that's great. But he was like quarter repping it. And I just think to myself when I see these guys, like, how do you not self-reflect and think, wow, this is pretty shitty form. Like, I need to lower the weight. Like, like, it befuddles me. Like, how do people not realize that they're not going deep enough? Like, I'm not saying you just to be able to squat. I'm not trying to gatekeep and say you have to, have hamstrings covering the calves because I can't do that right now. But I think getting to parallel at the very least is necessary. And it wasn't even like they're purposely doing quarter squats for a specific reason. They were just squatting and doing quarter squats and leaning super far forward. So I was like, your quads aren't even working, dude. It's like, yeah, that's kind of my rant. But I think before you do squat, you need to learn the proper form. If anyone's trying to get into that, you do need to learn the proper form. Invest time in your mobility. Invest time in tempo squats. Trying to learn the proper form. Don't just hop on there and be an idiot and heck like quarter rep. Apart from that, I think I might be ordering my equipment today. And you know what? That's about it. Have a good one.